It's a Teen Talk Skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, and welcome to episode number 63. I can't remember. I don't even know why I can't say that. Welcome to episode number 63 of a Teen Talk Skating podcast. My name is Van Gogh. I am your very unprofessional host who cannot even get the first 10 seconds of the introduction correct. But this week has been amazing and bad at the same time. Who knows? I hope you guys are all doing well. As always, I will say I feel like the universe is always sending me signs. I don't know if that actually makes sense. But the universe is actually sending me signs. I'm like, what do I do when the universe is sending me signs? Do I act on these signs? Do I follow what they're trying to tell me? Do I follow my own heart? Do I follow what I think is gonna happen? Like, I don't know what's gonna happen, and I'm scared of that. At the same time, I'm like, what if I do something stupid? I'm young enough to do stupid things, right? And so it's fine. Like I could rant about the universe the entire time. The universe is like telling me things I can't like comprehend. And I hope you guys, like maybe if you guys have been like in a similar situation, like you guys gotta tell me, like please tell me. Cause I don't know what the universe is like. It's telling me things for sure. Many things for sure. Some things feel like a full circle moment. Some things feel unresolved. I don't know what is what, and I'm scared of that, but I'm happy about that at the same time. And I don't know. But anyway, anywho, I hope you guys are doing well. School, work, whatnot. I did a lot of stuff this week, extracurriculars and whatnot. This week is crazy, but I'm really happy to be, good. I feel like my brain is messed up. I'm good. Oh, excuse me. Anyway, time for the program of the week before I get very crazy. Program of the week. So, leading into this program of the week, I'd like you all to imagine what the stereotypical American high school boy is like. And I feel like that is kind of this program explained. Like the ones you see in like the movies, like the really like dorky programs are like, they're really like kind of dorky, but they're like endearing at the same time. Like that's exactly how I felt this program. It's like one of those programs where you cannot not get a smile on your face while you watch this program because it's just so like funny and it's kind of like it's a vibe for sure. And that program is a men's program. Thomas Werner of the Czech Republic, his 2014 World Short program to, I believe, a piece of music called Dueling Banjos, if I'm correct. I'm correct. Yeah, Dueling Banjos from Deliverance, the movie by Arthur Smith. And this is, very much a very dorky program. It's like kind of like country, cowboy, westerny themed. Obviously, with the idea of the banjo. So in the beginning, it's quite slow and smooth. His edges as he moves along the ice are really smooth. I really did appreciate that as I watched this program. His Fred quad toe is really great as well. Going into the triple axel goes all well. And then, halfway through the program, the music does get a little more upbeat and it really does get you into that kind of like jive, square dance in a country barn kind of vibe. Like it works for sure with that vibe. And when he does the triple let's triple toe combo, or is it triple flow? I can't remember. Like the combo, and he lands it, he puts his hands up like, yeah. And the step sequence, or no, the spin and then the step sequence when things get really like boosted up, like turned up because the country vibe. He's like hanging on to his fake belt. He's hanging on to his, cool yellow plaid shirt. He's it's just so cowboy, like he's like pretending to drive a tractor. He's trying to do this and he's trying to do that. And this is what I call like a good showman program, if that makes sense. Like this is like you can be great at technical skills and you can be a little fun and showman-y at the same time. And I think Thomas Werner does that really well. Again, kinda just, like, the cool movements, like, the pausing, the posing, like, I'm a really real cowboy, Western guy, like, it's really funny to watch. It's a fun program to watch, and I feel like, it's great to see those programs when a lot of programs are so, like, tense and emotional and whatnot. It's great to see these programs that are very much, like, very comedic and very, like, very exaggerated, and that's what I think Thomas Vernon does really well, is that gives that showman quality along with that very comedic, expressive, just like, "I'm a cowboy, I'm a Western cowboy from the Wild West in the US," or something, I don't know. But yeah, please go check it out this episode. I promise you that you will smile while watching it, and doesn't everyone even smile these days? Ah, I know you do. So that is Thomas Werner, his 2014 World Short Program. Go check it out after you listen to this episode. But now it is time for the main episode. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I should stop singing, but yeah. That was your program of the week. Okay, everybody. So this week we have one more competition to preview. This is the last preview of the whole season, which, should be great. But every odd year, there is a little bit of extra competition to talk about because after Worlds in every odd year, so like 2021, 2022, or no, 2023, wait, 21, 23, and 25. Those are the odd numbered years. Every year that ends in an odd number, we have a little competition that we call the ISU World Team Trophy. That is just a little bit extra. It's a little bit fun. Don't take it too seriously, but it is kind of serious this year at the same time. I don't know. I will explain everything. But yeah, so, usually about 3, 4 weeks after Worlds, we have a little extra bonus competition called the World Team Trophy that always takes place in a city in Japan. And I believe for the past few years it has been always Tokyo, Japan, but I think it's changed a few times, but no idea. So, what is a World Team Trophy, you ask? Maybe you're a newer fan, you don't really know what it is. Of course, it only happens every other year, every odd year, so every 2 seasons, basically. So it is more of a fun, not joke competition, but it's more of a fun competition that's put on by the International Skating Union as well as the Japanese Skating Federation that happens in every odd year. Japan is the host of this competition. They've always been the host of this competition. It's never moved outside of Japan. And, is it, just an opportunity to make more money, kind of. But, it's fun. What tends to happen is that a lot of the skaters after Worlds end up going to tour in Japan anyway. So it's just another opportunity to go kind of skate in Japan and skate in front of a huge crowd. And of course, skating is a huge deal in Japan. If you haven't watched my episode about kind of Japan's singles field and its dominance because of how much popularity it has in Japan, definitely go check that out after this one. But yeah, skating is huge in Japan. It's the like probably second most popular sport after baseball, and it has many, many fans, and this makes a lot of money for the ISU and for the Japanese Skating Federation. And yeah, it's just a good chance to really see some of your favorites before the season really, really ends. The season technically ends at Worlds, yeah, like the major season, and this is kind of another opportunity to see perhaps some of your favorite skaters, see them do their programs, obviously for one more time of where maybe some of them give it up or some of them stop doing them. But yeah, it's quite a lot of fun. There's team captains, there's flags, and tons of other shenanigans here. And there is quite a lot of money at stake. I believe this is one of the most like prize money based competitions in the whole season. I forgot how much exactly it is, but it is quite a hefty amount of money if you are able to do really good. But again, it is a team competition. So what makes it kind of important is that it is a relatively good indicator for the Olympic team event next year because at the Olympics, they have a similar competition with a similar-ish format where there's a team event the format of which I will explain a bit later. I will say the World Team Trophy does tend to have a little bit of like overscored skaters. World records are set here, personal best, season's best, right? But does make it somewhat more important this year. And so this is why I really want to be able to pay kind of closer attention to the World Team Trophy because it is quite an important competition when we're considering the kind of logistics behind it because it is so important for the Olympic team event next year because a lot of these teams are going to be competing there next year. A lot of the same teams that have medal potential here are going to have medal potential next year at the Olympics. And so that's why this is really important. Looking at kind of the logistics of everything, where skaters are scoring, where teams are scoring is obviously the main thing. But so yeah, it's serious, but not serious at the same time. There is this like glitz and glamour, and they make giant signs, they elect team captains, they wear wigs, they make silly faces. Yeah. So it's not really serious. It's not like an intense like world champ competition, but it is kind of serious because of that team event next year, a looming team event, which is another opportunity to earn, a medal, a gold, silver, bronze medal next year, which matters a lot for some of these teams to increase skating exposure in their country, get more funding, etc. So yeah, it is pretty important, but at the same time, kind of relax. It's the last competition, big competition of the season. Who actually cares? Okay. So yeah, so that's what you gotta know. It's serious, not serious. So format wise, I'm gonna quickly explain this. This is a little bit confusing, but 6 countries qualified to the World Team Trophy based on combined world standing points. So as you know, skaters earn world standing points by going to competitions and doing well at them. And whatever countries, top 6 countries have the most world standing points based on how well, every skater or every pair, ice dance couple has done, they earn world standing points. The top 6 countries will qualify to this competition, the World Team Trophy. Every team gets 2 men, 2 women, 1 pair, and 1 ice dance team. Again, this is kind of emphasizing the singles more than the pairs and ice dance, but again, I will kind of get to that later. But basically, you are not really competing for your actual score. Like, it doesn't really matter if you get 200 or 195. What really matters is that you just want to be above the other people in the same category. So if you're a guy, a men's skater, and you earn 260, you just want to be higher than like 250 or whoever, because you just want to be higher in terms of leaderboard position. It doesn't matter if you get 260 or 250 necessarily. It does matter if you get third or fourth, if that makes sense. So a skater who ends up in first place in the short program will get more points for their team than a skater in like 7th place in the short program. And there's all this math behind it, but that's kind of a basic idea in a nutshell, is that you really want higher spots on the leaderboard, which translates to points for your team. It's not points like we see in usual scoring. But yeah, you are really aiming to be the top of the leaderboard, not necessarily the top in total score, which, is kind of the same thing, but a little bit different. But, I try to explain, but I literally can't because I'm a teenager and I'm a little bit stupid. But yeah, again, this competition is known for overscoring, so we could see some personal bests, some seasons bests, even some world records here. I think last time we set a world record in ice dance in both segments, and that was crazy, and then total score, which was crazy, but you know, if you know, you know, right? So yeah, known for overscoring for sure. But again, is it really that serious? No, it's more for fun. I kind of get it. Edge calls, violations, are they really gonna be called as strict? Not really, but it's a little weird. It's like that cousin who's like, "Are you serious? Are you not being serious right now?" It's the one cousin you see like, every so often, and they're a different person every time. That's kind of like what World Team Trophy is. You get what I mean? You feel me? You feel me? You're picking up what I'm putting down. I surely hope you are. And so in this episode, after that very long introduction about what the competition even the heck it is, in this episode, I will be previewing both the individual disciplines competitions, but more importantly, I think the overall preview for the teams, as again, the individual disciplines contributions matter, but the final result is the teams. So yeah, this is really interesting considering that obviously the good preview for that team event next year at the Olympics. Though I will say, this definitely could change around depending on who is going to the Olympics. Obviously, because a lot of these people who are on these teams may or may not be going to the Olympics. It's not guaranteed that they will be named to the Olympics, you know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, without further ado, let's introduce our teams. Dun dun dun. Qualifying in 6th place as a country with 4,495 total world standing points. We have Team Georgia, who have the skaters Anika Igadze, Marisi Kvitlashvili, Anastasia Gubanova, Alina Urushadze, Metlakina Barulava, and Davis and Smokeland for their ice dance team. So as you can see, 2 men's skaters, 2 women's skaters, 1 pair, and 1 ice dance. What's interesting to note about Team Georgia is they have 2 skaters coming out of retirement for this competition, Marisi Kvitlashvili in the men's event and Alina Urushadze in the women's event. Both of them are coming out of retirement. Both of them could be surprises. Honestly, I don't really know, and I will discuss it later. Qualifying in 5th place, Oh, I forgot to mention. And the team leader for Team Georgia is Nikki Gadze. Sorry. Qualifying in fifth place with 4,992 points before I messed up and I did not say that is Team Canada, who have Alexa Rakic, Roman Sadovsky, Sarah Mondupuis, Madeline Schizes, Stellato and Deschamps, and Gillis and Poirier. A very strong showing from the Canadians here. Their leader is Piper Gillis. Yeah, great for her. Great for her. I love that for her, honestly. Okay, qualifying in fourth place with 5,207 points, we have Team France, who have the skaters of Kevin Amos, Adam Shamfa, Lauren Schild, Leah Serna, Kovalev, and Loporeva and Buriso. Their team leader is Kevin Amos, which I feel like fits his personality so well. I love that for him. Again, I don't really know how they pick the leaders, but it's whoever. In third place, qualifying with 6,195 points, closely. Actually, they're not really close to any other teams, but I was trying to talk. But anyway, their skaters are from Italy. Sorry, the skaters are Daniel Grazel, Nikolai Momola, Laranaki Gutman, Anna Pizzetta, Conti and Machi, and Guignard and Fabry, and they are led by Charlene Guignard, which I also love for her. I feel like she also has that kind of personality. Okay. Qualifying in second place with 8,939 points are the home favorites, the domestic favorites here, Team Japan skating at home, who are led by have a very strong contingent team here at the World Team Trophy with Yuma Kageyama, Shun Sato, Moni Chiba, Kari Sakamoto, Miura Kihara for their pairs team, and Yoshida Morita for their ice dance team. Good for them. Their leader is Kari Sakamoto, the three-time world champ, the Olympic bronze medalist, and yeah, again, another skater who I feel like has that personality. I feel like they're always picking the great leaders. Okay. Last but not least, qualifying in first place with an astounding amount of points with 9,331, which I feel like is probably one of the highest amounts in history, maybe, is Team USA, America. Blah, blah, da, da. I don't know. What do American people say? I don't know. I'm American. I don't know. Their team is constituents, I don't know, is Jason Brown, Ilya Malinin, Amber Glenn, Alyssa Liu, Efimova Mitrofanov, and Chalk and Bates. Their leader is Jason Brown, which I was very happy when I saw it because I would want Jason Brown to be my team leader in any group project because I know he would actually do his dang work. No shade, just tea. Just saying. Blaming some people in my classes at school, just saying. But Jason Brown, I know he would do his work because he's that kind of guy. And obviously, again, as I said already about the leaders don't really matter. I don't really know how the leaders work. I think countries kind of just pick a leader for fun. It doesn't really matter. It's not like the leader gets extra points or like it really does matter anything. It's kind of just for fun and like press conference stuff and just it's a fun competition. Do not stress over World Team Trophy of all competitions to stress over for. So, looking at those teams again, I will say the world standing points and the overall team placement do not matter as much as before, like the stuff before the actual competition. It's a good likely indicator of like potential podium finishes, but it does not mean that because, Team Canada is in fifth place in world standing points, that does not mean they don't have a chance at the podium, if that makes sense. The world standing points are just kind of how they qualify, and I just read them off in order of qualification. It does not actually matter too much in the grand scheme of things. So again, I will be doing an overall preview of the individual events and then the more important final team standings. In the men's event, obviously, like this could go anywhere because what do you expect? It's the men's field. I could see this going anywhere. And honestly, I had a hard time figuring out what men I wanted to put where because any of these men could be anywhere and I would not be too shocked for sure. And so a lot of this again is going to be a lot of like matchups from World happening again, and this is going to be like that second chance to like beat your rival kind of thing, you know what I mean? But we will definitely see. In the men's field, in 12th place, I'm predicting Mauricio Kvitlashvili, who I think has, unfortunately, a disadvantage here coming out of retirement for Team Georgia. He is, we've seen him do amazing in the past. He's a former European medalist. He's gone to the Olympics and done quite well. He's gone to Worlds and done quite well. But I believe he retired 2 seasons ago or 1 season ago. I can't remember. Sorry guys. Let's see. Yeah, he retired 2 seasons ago, and so that is kind of thing. Like, is he gonna be able to, kind of build himself back up and like he hasn't competed, I believe, since the Japan Open in 2023 in October or September of 2023. And so it's going to be interesting what programs he even brings back. And so, I think a lot of people will be very happy about this because sometimes people did really like his skating. And so it's going to be more for fun and, kind of for money. But, definitely not very, very like super serious. But results wise, I feel like he probably doesn't have the best chance of being very high on the standings just because he has come out of retirement. But you never know. Maybe he could. Maybe he really could bring out a big surprise here. Maybe he has that quad salto back. I don't know. But he could definitely have that back for sure. In 11th place, I'm predicting the first Canadian men's skater, Alex Rakic, who is a skater who I really do enjoy his skating. He is, on the younger side. He is just came out of the junior ranks, I believe, last season. Now he's a senior. He just doesn't have the amount of technical potential or the components to boost him up compared to a lot of these other men here. But he is quite a strong skater, and I feel like, consistency wise, if he's able to pull off a really good free skate and a good short program as well, pretty decent. He could be above a lot of these other men if they could make mistakes. But I think because he doesn't have the quads necessarily or the like consistency with the triple axles or anything, I think that is gonna bring his score down. Unfortunately, I do really enjoy his triple loop combination. It's one of my favorites out there from him or from in general, in terms of triple loops. But yeah, Alexa Rakic in 11th place is my prediction. In 10th place, we have the other Canadian men's skater, Roman Sadovsky, who I will say could go anywhere. Roman Sadovsky is one of those skaters who could go anywhere because he, one competition he is doing really well. Next competition not as consistent, and so this could go anywhere. Maybe this is the end of the season, and Roman wants to pull it all out for Team Canada. I love that. At Worlds recently, he was pretty decent. I will say, I really did like it was a good result for him. Let me pull it up at Worlds. He was 14th at Worlds with a new season's best. So like that is definitely a good result. He was close to some of the other men who are kind of skating here. And Roman has done quite a lot even better in his past before. So if he's able to pull off, some similar skating here, I could definitely see it working out for Roman. Especially since a lot of these men obviously are not consistent, and so it could kind of go anywhere. In ninth place in the men's field, I am predicting Daniel Grazel of Italy, who we all know is kind of the guy who just came back from competition. He's kind of taken the world by storm. He qualified a Grand Prix final. And then, the results at Europeans, the results at Worlds, maybe were a little bit disappointing for him, especially considering the great success that he had. He had kind of building up to those competitions. And so a lot of it will depend on rotations. I will say though, as I said earlier, World Team Trophy I feel like is not the strictest competition in terms of like under rotation, the edge calls and everything. So maybe if he's just able to land all those quads and all those whatnots, that could work really well in his favor. Considering they may not be called as much because the judging panel is not as strict. It's a little bit looser. Um, but we'll see from Yale Grazel like what he's bringing out. At Worlds, he did do relatively well. He was able to land that quad loop if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was clean. And if he's able to keep all his jumps clean and as possible, that the judges are a little we'll let it pass kind of thing. He could like really pull up in the results for sure, especially with his high level quads like the quad lutz and the quad loop have a lot more major points attached to them compared to like the quad toe or the quad sal. So yeah, good for Daniel Grazel for sure. He has that potential to be a lot higher on this list. In eighth place, I put Georgia's second men's skater, Niki Gadze, who is really good at skating. He was, ninth at Worlds with a new personal best. but his skating is heavily reliant definitely on his jumps, right? We've seen him, do, some new choreography, but artistically, like the component score is just not as, developed as some of the other skaters because he is a bit of a newer senior. He isn't as developed as some of the other seniors in terms of artistic ability. But technical wise, Nikigatse is a strong skater when he can keep it together and he can keep it together clean. Again, another skater who has very high level quads and who has the potential to do a lot of quad combos. Um, if he's able to land all seven of those jumping passes in a row, he could definitely move up quite a bit on the scores here. But we will definitely see as the season goes or as the competition goes here how well he's able to do for Team Georgia. He's again the team captain, which I am very happy about for him. Good for him for being team captain. Moving into seventh place, I have put the first French men's skater, Kevin Amons, who, Kevin Amons is quite the mixed bag of beans, I will say, because Kevin Amons has kind of been everywhere, kind of been everything this whole season. We've had 22nd at Europeans, and he went to 5th at Worlds, but he did qualify to the Grand Prix final earlier. He had second at both his Grand Prix. We had scores coming from 183 to 282, which is a 100-point difference. And so I am not too sure where Kevin Amos is going to place because it could be at the very bottom of this or at the very top of this. And so kind of my I thinking is that he's gonna maybe like level out in the middle. He has the jumps when he can do them clean, but the consistency is not the best compared to some of the other skaters, and so that's kind of my thought process. Is like, I'm not too sure where Kevin Amos will place, but I think he'll be kind of like in the middle of the pack based on his relative consistency throughout this season, or in terms of like the scoring, like the 230s, 240s, maybe is where he's gonna land. Not too sure. It could be anywhere again, but we will definitely see where Kevin Amos will be. Again, he's team captain, so maybe that is motivating. I don't know his motivation factor. Team France, I will say, definitely has a fighting chance for that podium. In sixth place, I put the second Italian men's skater of Nikolai Mimola, who is very impressive. He's grown a lot this season as a skater for sure. He's impressed me a lot. He was recently 10th at Worlds. Really good skating. Has the potential for quads. He was second at Europeans with those really great performances. He has the ability to do quadlets. It is his only quad currently. It is quite susceptible to edge calls and occasional under rotations. Again, with a looser judging panel, are they really going to be as strict as that? I am not too sure. But, otherwise, he has the ability to get really good jumps. His artistry, I feel like, has really improved, gotten a lot better. I really do enjoy his Modigliani free skate. It's really dramatic and it's really nice and a very big improvement from, previous seasons that we've seen him. And so, yeah, I really do enjoy that skating of his. And, he could be higher, he could be lower. I think it will depend a lot more on the other men. But if he's able to skate his heart out and skate those jumps cleanly, I think Nikolai Momola has a very high chance of being in the top six. In fifth place, I am picking Jason Brown of the USA, the team captain for the USA, which I'm so happy about because Jason would be the best group team leader or whatever. I think artistically, we all know Jason Brown got it in the bag. Like, who actually needs to even question that? He got it in the bag. He got it in the bag because if he ends up second in components, I literally cannot. I can't. No, he will be first in components. Give him all tens. I don't care. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he will win components. He won components at World, so it's not like it's gonna be a big deal here, right? Jinxes. I'm not gonna jinx myself, right? I'm not gonna jinx him. He's my favorite. Technically, is Jason Brown the strongest skater? No, and we know that, and it's fine. Who actually cares about jumps? Jumps are actually fake. But if he's able to put down a clean free skate, he put down a clean free skate at Worlds, and it was very impressive. It was very strong, and it earned him a new season's best. He was fourth in the free skate there. He does not have the quads. We know that, and it's fine. Who actually cares about quads? But he does have very clean jumps when they work and very good consistency. We've seen him do really well in high pressure environments like Worlds before. That made me think he could totally do it again. He could totally do it again. So, his scoring trajectory this season was a little wonky. He didn't compete for like 5 months. So, maybe this is gonna be like a very upward spiral for him. I'm really hoping that it is, for him, a very upward spiral for sure. But I believe in Jason, and I think he's gonna be a great team captain. In fourth place, I put Adam Shamfa, who is, who was the fourth place at Worlds as well. Who he is kind of known as having for like an okay short program and a really good free skate. So maybe that's gonna happen to him here again. He doesn't really want that. He wants good in both, obviously. Um, at Worlds he did pretty good. That free skate was pretty good, except for that last fall and that last triple axel. You know, I'm Sean Fa, world bronze medalist. He's a European champion, two-time European champion actually. He has it in him to definitely be on the podium here in terms of the men's field. I think my main concern is like his consistency, which this season, hasn't been quite as strong as last season's consistency that we saw from Adam Fa, but definitely still a skater to watch out for here. He definitely could be trying some crazy backflip quad axel. I don't even know. But clean jumps will mean a lot for Adam Schoenfeld for sure. But his dramatic dune program is kind of crazy. But anyway, in third place is a skater who I feel like has grown quite a lot, and I think in third place will be Shun Sato, the first Japanese men's skater I'm naming. Team Japan is a really strong men's field, obviously, and I think Shun Sato is a great pick. He was recently sixth at Worlds, which I is still a result I think should have been fifth or maybe even fourth. But I think artistically, he has improved a lot. He's matured a lot artistically. His program this season, Nostros or something, Nostros, I forgot what it was called exactly, but it was it's a moving program for sure. It's a good program for him. Fits him well. He will be attempting, I believe, both the quad lutz and the quad flip. If he's able to land those, I think he's pretty much secure on the podium as long as all the other jumps are relatively clean. But really good result for him, I feel like, would be third or even higher if other skiers make mistakes. But Shunsato competing here at home could be definitely stressful. Scores are kind of all over the place this season, but still a good skater for sure and a one to watch out for in terms of this event. Okay, moving on to let's see. Second place is the second Japanese men's skier, Yuma Kageyama, who, at his last competition at Worlds, we had that amazing short program, second place short program for him, and an unfortunate 10th place in the free brought him down to third overall. But it was still a good fight. Components wise, he's improved a lot. The jumps in the free skate were just not consistent there, but we've seen him do quite consistent at the rest of the season. So, at many of the other competitions this season. So, we'll definitely see where kind of it all kind of like places, it all kind of falls, right? Where all the pieces fall. He has been at 300 points this season. Once at NHK Trophy. Is he able to do that again? Is he able to skate even cleaner and get an even higher score? We've seen him score really high before, so that definitely could be something to watch out for. But I am actually not too sure where Yuma Kageyama plays. That world's appearance, will it affect him or not? Is skating at home gonna like boost his morale? I really hope so. But I would really love to see Yuma Kageyama put down a really good skate here at World Team Trophy. In first place is Ilya Malinin of the USA, who I think is kind of a no-brainer, kind of like to predict. He's a two-time world champ. He has all these impressive accolades. I don't really need to name him. First person to land a quad axel. He tried to do 7 quads in the free skate worlds. He only landed 6, but that was still a very impressive 6. Not cleanly 6. I believe only 4 were landed cleanly. But yeah, is he gonna go for it again? I feel like he is because he's a chaos child for sure. I think he is gonna try to do 7 quads again. And we'll see if he can get it. I think this is the third time he's trying it, so maybe third time is the charm or something. Who knows? But yeah, that's for the men's field. I feel like I probably should talk faster. The women's field, let's talk about it. I'm very excited to see the matchup of so many competitive women in this field. Again, I'm very much a big a very big like rematchup or uh excuse me, a very big post world little little competition, a little rematch for these women. In 12th place is Alina Urshadze, I'm predicting, of Georgia. Again, another similar reason to Marisi Kitlashvili is that we haven't seen Alina Urshadze compete in quite a while. So I think, based on her jumps, how she's, it will depend for sure. But she has the ability to make it higher than 12th for sure. I think that it will really depend on jumps, how, trained she is, even after retirement, things like that. But definitely has potential, just has to kind of, use that spirit for sure, which I think even when she was competing, she was a good skater, and I do think that she has that ability to show kind of like my last hurrah, I guess here. Maybe this will inspire her to come back. I don't know. It'd be cool. In 11th place, I'm from France. I'm predicting Leah Serna, who, is a little, again, another skater who has kind of skated kind of up and down this whole season. But she was really good. I forgot at what competition this season she was good at. Was it Grand Prix de France? I can't remember. Was she there? I literally cannot remember if she was there. It was some competition that she was really good at. It was Grand Prix de France, no? She's skating at home and did really good there. Anyway, but she, she's had good results for sure in the past. Oh, it was Golden Spin. Never mind. At Golden Spin, she did really good. She had a good skate there. We'll see definitely where she can land, where she can go. Considering her like past results, she's kind of been in the 180s, has been her main kind of range, and so we'll see if she's able to go do that in that general range. And yeah, in 10th place from also France, we have Laureen Shield, who is another skater who a lot of people don't like her jumping technique, but it's a little scary, but she lands it, she lands it. But yeah, Laureen Shield of France, a skater who I feel like is kind of getting better and better each season. I say this a lot for her, but I really do enjoy her development so far. Definitely think that with cleaner jumps, she could be higher here. Definitely don't know exactly where she's going to be, but could definitely be up there. In ninth place from Italy, the first Italian women's skier I'm naming is Anna Pizzetta, of Italy, who I do think that she is a really great skater, a very young skater. A lot of people love her very big jumping expression and kind of big jumps and tall jumps, and they go flying. And, really good for her. I think consistency probably is not the highest out of all these women here in the field, but still could earn some good results if she's able to put some clean skates. Hasn't skated as a senior for too long, so definitely trying to show her prowess with all these other women in the field. In eighth place is the first Canadian women's skater, Sarah Maud Dupree, who, has a good kind of repertoire so far this season. She did really well at Four Continents, I believe it was. Yeah, she did really well at Four Continents. She got a new personal best there, and she was 10th there, which is a really good result for her. Again, kind of in that 170 range that a lot of these women here are at. She could be higher, she could be lower. I think in this, general 7th through ninth is where Sarah Mondupi will land with good jumps, and she does have good jumps. She did land them quite well at Fort Collins. She could very much take a very big position here if she's able to skate cleanly, which she did fairly skate cleanly, except for two falls in the free skate at Fort Collins, but her short was really clean, which is really good to see. In seventh place is the other Italian women's skater, Lara Naki Gutman, who, we saw her have those amazing skates at Finlandia Trophy. I still think to this day, and I know that this is so stupid that I still hold on to this stupid grudge because I'm an annoying, whiny kid. I still think that Lara Naki Gutman should have been first in that competition, and I will carry that to my dang grave. But because she scored so high at Finlandia Trophy, I feel like there is a chance she could score high here again, kind of maybe beat that score or be at least be close to that score. After Finlandia Trophy, she didn't have the cleanest skates for sure, but still a good skater for sure. And yeah, her 198 there at Finlandia Trophy was great. She's kind of, again, another skater in that 170s, 180s range. She could be in that 190s range for sure. I would love to see her repeat another performance similar to Finlandia Trophy. That could be very great for her. But yeah, I think she's going to be in this kind of general range too. In sixth place is Anastasia Gubanova of Georgia, who, is the reigning European silver medalist for 2 years now. the European champ of 2023. At Worlds, what happened was a little tragic. Her short program, she did not unfortunately qualify to the free skate due to a short program where she, you know, I forgot exactly what happened. I believe she didn't do any of her jumping elements super cleanly. Or she lost points on on all of her jumping passes, which is really unfortunate for her. She did do a waltz jump instead of an axel there as well. I hope that she's able to really put that behind her. She is a strong skater otherwise. I do think maybe that was just one fluke performance that just happened, and hopefully it does not happen again. Really strong skater. We've seen her at Europeans do really well. Worlds, not her favorite competition. So maybe this World Team Trophy opportunity is really going to be kind of a redo of that for her. Fifth, I have Madeline Skizes, who I think is gonna be a great, great, great skater here because I feel like she does really well in team events. We saw her at the World or the Olympic team event; she did really well there. I feel like she is really good at team events. At Worlds, she did pretty decent. I feel like a performance similar to there will land her in this general area, fifth, sixth area, and I do think Madeline Skizes will do really well. The final four are very competitive. Fourth, I have Moni Chiba, who is the bronze medalist at Worlds, so do not underestimate her. She may very well take first. Her consistency is her greatest gift. Really consistent skater, really does not make a lot of mistakes. I think Fort Collins is really only her only major like faux pas this whole season, but otherwise really strong skating from her. I do think consistency will carry her far. But yeah, recent world bronze medalist, she's hoping to carry some of that momentum here, especially representing Japan at home. In third place, I'm really hoping for this one to happen. Amber Glenn, I honestly really want Amber to be first. She has the potential to be first. She has had an undefeated season except for Worlds. Worlds was a little bit frustrating to watch, unfortunately. But that's okay because we still love Amber Glenn no matter what because she's amazing. But yeah, she was fifth at Worlds after, an unfortunate short program, but then a pretty good free skate. Really good fight for that free skate. As long as she's able to land everything at least pretty well and she doesn't pop a lot, I do think she has the ability to be quite high on this list. I'm really hoping that she's able to put, her season to a very good end representing Team USA. And, again, building up that Olympic profile, especially for Team USA, is super important. In second place, I have Alyssa Liu, who is the current world champ. I am still in shock after that event, but I'm still in shock after that event. What the heck happened? But I think Alyssa Liu, she did have that really great competition at Worlds, obviously, but before that, like her scores weren't as high. If she's able to repeat the performance she had at Worlds, like, would be amazing and would probably win her the title. But I don't know. I don't know. Alyssa Liu could do it. Alyssa Liu, I see it. Alyssa Liu having this like newfound confidence on the ice is amazing to see, and we'll see where it takes her at World Team Trophy. First place, I'm rating Kaori Sakamoto of Japan, who was recently second at Worlds after being a three-time world champ. The reason why I'm putting her in first, especially over Alyssa Liu and Amber Glenn and Moni Chiba, is that she's skating at home in Japan, and every time not Amber, oh my god, every time Kaori skates at home in Japan, she just like does so well. She feeds off the energy of the crowd, I feel like, and that's a really valuable thing to have is to see, you know, that home crowd support. Kaori does really good in Japan. I feel like that is kind of be unstoppable for at NHK Trophy, for example. I think she had the highest score of any woman this whole season. And skating at home in Japan is a great thing for her. And I feel like that is gonna boost her and motivate her quite a lot. But she's definitely hoping to stay very clean, and she definitely has the potential and the relative consistency and able to do in order to do that. Okay, the Paris ice dance competitions do not actually contribute a whole lot in terms of points because it's a little bit more dependent on the singles, but lots of major competition between many of the world competitors coming back here. Sixth place, I'm gonna speed through this, not gonna lie, guys. I'm sorry. Sixth place, I'm putting Kovalev of France, who I think just technically don't have as much consistency as many of the other teams, but they could pull off a big surprise. They have medaled at Grand Prix before, I believe twice, I believe. So that's really good for them. In fifth place, I'm putting Efimova and Mitrofanov, who just came off of a great World's free skate. That was a very powerful free skate, and they just came off of a U.S. nationals title as well. So this is really a lot of momentum for them, and they could definitely challenge for the podium. I feel like if they can get super, super, super clean free skates and short programs, obviously. In fourth place, I have Georgia, Metlakina, and Barulava, who are a team who are a little newer to the senior ranks, but they have been shown that they are competitive with these seniors who have been around for a little bit longer. They were fourth at Worlds, actually, and that's a really good result for them, especially coming out of like the newer, kind of newer era, newer pack. But yeah, really good for them. In third place, I have the Canadian team of Stellato and Deschamps. They were the world champs from last season. This season, they were fifth at Worlds. You know, a little struggle with consistency this season, but that is okay. I feel like as long as they are fairly consistent, they will be on the podium here and get good points for Canada. We'll be working on some of those jumps. I'm hoping they can put a really good performance together after a little bit of disappointment, I think, at Worlds, but that is all okay. I think they will be pretty good. In second place, we have the Italian team of Conti and Macchi, who, again, another team I really do enjoy. They have had quite a resurgent season, winning the Cup of China and then coming to Worlds and being third there. Really good for them. They have been fairly clean this whole season. I think they will do very well. First place, I have Miura and Kikara, who are the world champs, who won very marginally over Hase and Volodin, who are not competing here. But Miura and Kihara, again, another team from Japan, coming here to compete at home. I feel like everything's gonna work. I don't know. Yeah, Ice Dance always brings a touch of chaos, but I'm very, very fairly confident about these predictions. Just don't jinx me. In sixth place, we have Yoshida and Morita of Japan, who are really good skaters. I do like their Romeo and Juliet this season for sure. Just technically, they don't get as much levels in Jui compared to the other teams, and that's why I'm putting them in sixth. In fifth place from Georgia, Davis and Smokeland. Kind of for the same reasons, they don't have as much Jui and high levels as some of the other teams, but if they are able to take advantage of maybe some of the other teams' mistakes, could definitely be on, be higher up here. They did score, I believe, like 200 at like some challenger in the Pella Memorial, I think. But yeah. Fourth place from France is Loboreva and Brissot, who, European silver medalists at Worlds. They were, let's see, I forgot what place they were at Worlds. They were eighth at Worlds, which is still a good result. If they're able to repeat their European performances, they could be on the podium here for sure. Third place is Guignard and Fabry, who I was devastated for because they were fourth at Worlds. And, this is a chance to put that robot free dance and put it to like its final moments and put it like end it strong with that robot free dance. You know what I mean? I really love Guignard and Fabry. Really think they'll do well. Hopefully they will be able to give that robot free dance a good ending. Second, Gilles and Poirier, who, definitely have a chance to be first. They were about 6-ish points behind at Worlds, but still, good results could put them far. Their main strength is the free dance. Their rhythm dance, not as much. If they're getting higher scores in the rhythm dance, I could see a potential upset here. And first is Chalk and Bates. They are the three-time world champs now for Chalk and Bates. Really good for them. I do think they'll be first, and it's a good story. I think they will. Okay, real quick before we end off the episode, I know I discussed those are the individual events, but we still have to discuss the team part of the team event. Of course, this is the World Team Trophy, so this is the team part of that. So where am I predicting each team to be? Is where we're at, and obviously this is really helpful for predicting the World Team Trophy as well. All right, in sixth place, I'm predicting Team Georgia, who, are coming into here with a bit of a disadvantage with two retired skaters, again, Marisi Kvitlashvili and Elena Urshadze, coming back. Obviously we're not too sure if they've trained a lot since they retired. If they have been, I could see this being a bit of a little upset, a little bit of a surprise, but it's really great to see that Georgia has qualified. This is their debut at the World Team Trophy compared to other teams who have been here multiple times. This is their debut at the World Team Trophy, so it's great that they've qualified. If everything is clean and scores are high, we could definitely see a surprise, especially from skaters who have proven in the past to be pretty good, like Miki Gatze, Anastasia Gubanova, Metlakina Barulava. They could definitely be kind of the main point leaders for Georgia. So I'm definitely not ruling out that possibility at all. So yeah, I think sixth will be Georgia. Fifth place, I'm predicting France, who honestly could be on the podium as well. Their men's field with Kevin Amos and Adam Shamfal, I think, will be their biggest strength. If Kevin Amos and Adam Shamfal are able to do quite good in the men's event, that could be really the defining moment for France for sure. But points will also really be well earned by Loporeva and Brisso. And I think the women's field and the pairs field, those skaters can do really well as well. Does kind of depend on more consistency for Team France. But yeah, really good. In fourth place, I have Team Canada, who I think pairs with Salado and Salado Deschamps and Ice Dance with Gilles and Poirier. They will be their kind of big money makers here, strong in both of those disciplines. They've proven to be strong before. I think that they will continue to be strong. Their men's field and the women's field have skaters who can be really good. Again, it's going to come down to consistency for me. A lot of these skaters, Roman Sadowski, for example, have not been the most consistent, but I believe in him. I believe in Maliskis. Like, these are skaters who I've seen fight, and these skaters can fight for the gems. Canada is a fighting nation. They do not give up, and they could be on the podium. But yeah, again, singles could really go anywhere. Strong results may very well land them on the podium. In third place, I have a country who I think their results really depend on the man, and I think that's Italy. The men of Daniel Grazel and Nicolai Mamola, who are skiing here, their jumps could be really good, kind of average, not so good. It all depends on the judging panel. I think Italy is really at the fate of the judging panel. Are they going to get high scores in the judging panel? Yes or no? I have no idea. It really is dependent on the judging panel here. Um, Under rotations, edge calls, it's going to depend on that. Paris and Ice Dance are really strong as well with Conti Machi and Guillaume Fabry. Their women's field, if Laranaki Gutmann and Anna Pezzetta are able to put up the performances of their life, and I think Italy will have a very good chance at third. But I really do feel like it is kind of like between them and Canada, so I'm kind of unsure about both. But honestly, maybe in France, you know what I mean? Like third could be Italy, Canada, or France. I feel like it will be that will be the most exciting part for me is third. Second and first, I feel like are kind of set. I don't want to say they're set, but they're pretty set. Second place, I have Japan, who are strongest in the single skaters, which will contribute more to the points. In pairs and ice dance, pairs obviously Miura and Kihara are the reigning world champs right now, and so that will contribute a lot of points. Ice dance with Yoshida and Morita. Not as many points there, but they could still, very much contribute to Team Japan. Considering their relative consistency, if they're able to get new personal bests here, which I do think is quite possible. They've been having clean skates all season, I think, Yoshida and Morita. So, could earn a lot of points there for sure and earn themselves some new season's best and personal best. And then in first place is Team USA, America, who are coming in here with 3 out of the 4 world champs in Ilya Malinin, Alyssa Liu, and Chalk and Bates, and plenty of other strong skaters like Jason Brown and Amber Glenn, obviously. Really the one to beat, in my opinion. They're really playing in their strength of being decent in the all-around side of things. If you think about gymnastics and think about the gymnasts that are good at all around. That's kind of how I feel about the US. The US is in that all around where they're decent in every field and they're good at are really good in, men's and ice dance for sure, but they're decent in all their fields. They're very much all around. So yeah, good leading up to that team event for sure. So yeah, those are my predictions for the World Team Trophy in terms of the individual disciplines as well as the overall team combined competition. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your predictions, who you think will win. I have no idea. World Team Trophy is a little fun, but it's chaotic and it's kind of random, for sure. But that is all for this episode of the Teen Talk Singing Podcast. My name is Vango. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant for like 50 minutes about the World Team Trophy. I'm sorry. I'm tired. I want to sleep so bad. Next episode will probably be a video essay episode. I am kind of going on a bit of vacation, so it does kind of complicate everything, but do not worry, I will figure it out. I hope I won't have to like skip an episode of this podcast because I really hate that because I do this every week and I don't want to stop. I don't want to like miss a week by accident or like miss a week if I don't have to. So I'll probably end up pre-recording. But next week will probably be a video essay episode. The week after might not be the team results or the results of the World Team Trophy. That might be the week after. So like 3 weeks from now. But the week after might be another video essay. I have no idea. I might have many video essays in my thoughts and everything. Yeah, I have thoughts like that. I'm not like I don't know. It'll be fine. But anyway, thank you for listening to episode 60. What is this? 63? 63 of a Teen Talking podcast. My name is Ango. I hope you listen to me ranting for 50 minutes. I will see you next week. Bye bye.